Welcome back to Crypto Tutorial. On today's video, we'd like to discuss Avalanche, how it's currently performing, and what we could expect during the upcoming hours, especially with the thoughts about tomorrow on Monday, what we are seeing. So clearly, right now we are in the 1 hourly time frame. We are seeing this beautiful ascending support with multiple touch points on top. Clearly, we have seen 3 beautiful touch points and as well a 4th rejection once we went there, but I think this was more of a support being found on top of the 0.236 at $124. So clearly we are inside of this pattern. What you can see is that we also have been rejected multiple times below this ascending resistance. This is for sure absolutely important, especially because we got rejected the very last time we tried to actually break out above it. So this is actually a very important, I would like to call this pattern a ascending channel, parallel channel, but it's not completely parallel, but it's not either a broadening wedge. So therefore I would like to call it a parallel channel, an ascending parallel channel, and I would like to also show to you what the possible breakout or breakdown is going to look like. So it is a minor breakout or breakdown, but it still has influence on the overall price action. If we would see tomorrow, for example, a breakdown below this ascending support, it is very likely that we are actually going to see this minor breakdown heading towards the 0.236 at $124, and as well approximately a 8.7% move getting created towards the downside. Well, in the opposite scenario, if we would see a breakout occur, we would be seeing as well an 8.7% breakout, but heading towards the $155 range. What I think would be absolutely good about a breakout on this case is that we would be also perhaps being able to hold strong on top of the 0 level at 147 US dollars. What you can clearly see is that this level was actually the level where we last got rejected. So that is absolutely why I think personally that it is very likely that we are actually going to be holding strong on top of that range. What is actually very important to me, $146 level is the level you would like to keep an eye on. So this being said, I would like to take a look at just a few indicators as well. I would like to start by taking a look at the EMA ribbon. You can clearly see that the EMA ribbon is perfectly aligned with this ascending support line. That is for sure absolutely important, especially because we have seen multiple touch points on top of this support line, and as well the EMA ribbon will be serving as a major stronghold underneath us. So it will be quite difficult if we do see a breakdown to break down below this range. So actually quite important to monitor this very closely, because if we do break down below this, we could see a minor decline in price action, perhaps heading all the way towards the $110 level, where we have seen previously major resistance underneath. So therefore I think that is quite likely that this is going to be the stronghold if we right now see momentum towards the downside taking place and heading towards the $110 range. Well, this being said, I would like to take a look at the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly time frame as well. If we take a look at the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly time frame, you can clearly see why I personally think that the $110 range is the level where we perhaps might be heading to if we do see a decline in price action on Monday, especially because we are also aligning together with the EMA ribbon on this part, and that is actually telling us that it is very likely that we could perhaps head towards this range as well. Let's discuss one more level of support where the EMA ribbon has been perfectly aligned with. That is actually this ascending support range. We have seen as well multiple touch points on top of this level, and I think that is absolutely important to take into consideration that if we do see a decline in price action, it is likely that we will be holding strong on top of this ascending support, especially because we have seen previously multiple touch points, and as well the EMA ribbon is actually a level of support at that point in time as well. So $110 will be a very steady level where we might perhaps be heading towards. This being said, I would like to take a quick look at the MACD. If we take a look at the MACD, we are clearly losing momentum strength. This is for sure telling us that we might perhaps be seeing a momentum decline on Monday, especially if we do eventually see a crossover. And if we take a look at the 1-hourly time frame, you can see as well that we are right now experiencing momentum towards the downside. Therefore, this is actually confirming that we might be heading towards a decline in price action tomorrow. Lastly, I would like to take a look at the RSI. On the RSI, we are actually experiencing something different. We are experiencing a bullish divergence. Why am I saying this? Because you can clearly see that we were actually creating this beautiful higher lows on the chart and we have been creating as well higher lows on the RSI. But what I think is unfortunate is that right now we are creating a lower low on the RSI and a higher low on the chart. Therefore, this is a bullish divergence. This is actually helping the overall price action of Avalanche hold strong on top of this ascending support and as well the 1 hourly EMA ribbon. So this is absolutely important that we are seeing this bullish divergence, but perhaps we are still going to see more price action towards the downside. Why? Let's take a quick look at the 4-hourly time frame. So if we take a look at the 4-hourly time frame, what you can clearly see right away is that we are actually getting a little bit overextended. If we take a quick look at the RSI, you can clearly see that we are above the dotted line on the upper part, and therefore it is likely that we are actually going to see a minor decline taking place. And for sure, we still have quite a long way to go before we will start seeing a bullish divergence creating itself on the 4-hourly time frame, and therefore I think it is actually quite likely that we are eventually going to see a momentum loss, perhaps heading towards the 50 area, and as we'll see a decline in price action on the chart as well. So right now, what I must admit for all of you who are watching, you have to stay tuned to take a quick look at Avalanche and see if Avalanche is actually going to hold strong on top of this ascending support on the 1 hourly time frame, or perhaps we are going to see that break down below this range heading towards the $110 range, what I think is actually the scenario that we will be seeing on Monday. If you enjoyed the content, do not forget to give me a thumbs up down below, and as well, have a nice day. Bye bye.